This is iPacers.com bringing you the latest Pacers news. Pacers Myles Turner unfazed by contract situation, ready to do more. Myles Turner is entering his 10th season with the Indiana Pacers in the final year of his contract, but it's nothing he hasn't been through before.
Yeah, man. I mean, I can't help but laugh because, like, I'm gonna keep it a stack, man. Like every year in Indiana has been a contract year at this point. Whether you're fighting rumors or just staying true like to your grind and whatnot. I mean, you know I don't really feel too much different because at the end of the day, I told you that success last year is basically what I'm become obsessed with. You know what I mean? I understand like the guys that talk about it more and more there, and I had to get there like to really experience it. It felt like a pipe dream, for the longest time. But the fact that you actually made it happen, it's like, oh, okay. Like I said, I got like a different outlook. So I think, again, like I've become more obsessed with just the everyday, the little stuff, getting my stretches in, doing my discipline, drinking my 2 gallons of water a day, like just literally just that process. And I think that anything that happens after that will be a byproduct of the success.
It's safe to say that Turner has survived the most trade rumors without actually being dealt in the entire NBA, as the only players who have been with their team longer than the Texas center has been with the Pacers are Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, and Dwight Powell. But this Turner contract year certainly feels different than the last time he was in this situation heading into the 2022-23 season. At Media Day 2 years ago, the Pacers were just beginning what they believed could be a long rebuild. Turner was always professional, considering the team had openly tried to replace him with DeAndre Ayton in the offseason, but seemed resigned to the fact that he wasn't likely to be in Indiana much longer.
Yeah, man, I'll go ahead and address it here, right here. This is the only time I will be addressing it this year. And I want to make sure everybody knows that. Yeah, elephant in the room. For me, this is my 8th season. What I've been in trade rumors past 4 or 5 years. There's something that I know that I'm numb to. It's something it's just whatever what comes with this business. There are no hard feelings in this business. You have to take the emotions out of everything, and I've learned that at a young age, and I still hold true to that. My job is to come in here and to help these young guys now, man. I'm no longer the young guy in the locker room. I'm 26 years old and one of the oldest in the room, and that's something that's a new position for me. And one of the things I want to take a lot of pride in as well. So that's where all my attention lies. As long as I'm in this uniform, I'll go out there and represent the state how I'm supposed to be represented and represent myself in the same manner.
Have the pay. I'm going to follow up and you answer as you see fit. Have the Pacers offered you an extension, and if they did, would you be interested?
It's one of those things that I can't answer that right now. I feel like that. It's one of the things that everything's going to have to play out how it's supposed to. But I'm in this uniform right now, and I'm going to represent myself and the team in that manner.
How quickly things can change from Turner saying this at Media Day and then openly pitching to the Lakers organization why they should trade for him on the Woj pod a few weeks after. Then to the chemistry with Tyrese Halliburton building quickly and the team being better than expected, both leading to Turner and the organization agreeing to an extension before the trade deadline. Fast forward back to the present, following an incredible postseason run that had the Indiana crowd chanting his name before he hit yet another deep three-pointer against the Milwaukee Bucks in an iconic moment.
5 threes now, a playoff career record for Myles Turner. Turner again for a 6.
Because of the way his current contract was structured, Turner can't be extended this time around and will be a free agent for the first time in his career this summer. The Pacers organization wants him here beyond this season and sees the immense value in their center with a rare combination of skills that allow him to seamlessly fit next to their star duo in Halliburton and Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, Myles obviously is all he knows is the Pacers, and he's a big part of our identity. He's a big part of our identity on the court, off the court. He's great in the community, as you know, but his development fit with Rick's system, fit with our point guards, fit with Pascal. I think you see how he seamlessly fits into the way we play, and we're a big believer in Myles, and we want him to be here. He's been our starting center, since we made the trade with Domas. He's established himself in that role. He's continued to make growth with his play, and I think there's still more growth with him. I think he's determined to get back to being, a rim protector, the defensive presence that we need him to be, but also he knows his fit offensively. And like I said, he's with Tyrese and Pascal, our primary offensive threats. The way he complements both those guys it's hard to find somebody in the league that does it better.
Ted, what do you make?
That was Chad Buchanan, Pacers general manager, last week. Halliburton and Turner were the league's best duo in terms of efficiency in the pick and roll and led the league assist connections with 215. 29 more assists than the second place duo of the Kings pair, Domas Sabonis and Keegan Murray. Once Siakam was acquired by the Pacers, there were reports about Siakam wanting to play with Turner for a long time because of his ability to space the floor, something he never had in a front court partner while with the Raptors. Turner has been open about being unhappy during the time he spent playing out of his natural position next to Sabonis, but now he oozes with a new level of confidence and pride in both his ability and his place in the franchise, where only Reggie Miller, Jeff Foster, Rick Smits, Vern Fleming, and Dale Davis can match or exceed his 10 years with the franchise.
Has 10 years hit you yet with one franchise? Have you thought about that very much?
Of course, I know. I did a lot of reflecting, this summer. Just as I'm growing into myself and as a man. There were a lot of years, I would say, here in Indy. Not a lot, but about 3-4 years, it got stagnant for me. I feel like I was just going through the motions. You know what I mean? But as it may be, I am the motion now. I feel like everybody kind of follows, what I do, in this city. I've grown into this leadership role here. And, last year was a beautiful thing to experience. But again, like I just, once you get a hit of that success, like it's addicting. It's very addicting. You win a playoff game or Eastern Conference semifinals in Madison Square Garden, stuff you like dream about, coming up. So, I definitely want more, and I want to continue to build on success.
Myles, how do you go about becoming?
That playoff run last season has become the motivation for the veteran Turner as he looks to get the Pacers back to the conference finals and beyond. He said he's become obsessed with the process and kept it simple with how he and the team can be better.
Yeah, do more. I feel like nobody really cares anymore. You know what I mean? It was fun for the city. It was fun for, what the season was last season. But, ultimately it fell short. So if you're asking individually what I can do to be better, I think a big thing for me, obviously, a lot of people talk about is just getting in there, mixing stuff up, defensively, still being a better rebounder, stronger at that, and then just being as consistent as I am on offense, continue that to keep going forward. So the biggest message is just do more.
Turner has grown in his leadership as the elder statesman of the team and hosted his fellow big men James Wiseman and Isaiah Jackson in Dallas prior to the players-only minicamp at Siakam's home in Orlando the next week. Assistant coach Lloyd Pierce was credited by both Turner and Jackson as encouraging them to get together.
Yeah, it was dope. It was super dope. Bigs coming together. This is our first time doing it, and it was a good, dope experience. Went to Myles' house, chilled at his house. We talked it up a lot. Talked about this year and the responsibilities as bigs that we have this year, coming up this year, and how we just want to compete and try to get each other better. I think that's what we did in Dallas. We played a lot of one-on-one, a lot of post-ups and stuff to just get our feel back for playing.
How did Myles put that together, and did he say anything that really stood out to you from that you can take into this?
Yeah, just holding each other accountable. I think that's the main thing I took out of it. We went down there, and we knew we were just going to battle and try to iron sharpens iron, but we went down there with a goal and to get better. Myles emphasized that, LP emphasized that it's our responsibility to hold everybody accountable, hold ourselves accountable, and try to be better than we were last year.
Accountability seems to be a common thread for what Turner is preaching to his teammates, as he could be heard delivering a similar message in one of Siakam's behind-the-scenes videos from minicamp. While the Pacers had the second-best record in the Eastern Conference against teams above 500 last season, trailing only the eventual champion Boston Celtics, they were among the worst playoff teams against below 500 opponents last season. Accountability just in taking every opponent seriously could go a long way in trying to earn home court advantage in a first-round series.
Saw how valuable playing at home was last year for the playoffs. Is that also, even though it's a process, is that something that's motivating to try to go out there and earn, the highest seed possible to have even more home games here for playoffs?
Yeah, the energy was unmatched. You know, I think the in-season tournament was the first time I really saw it. You know what I mean? And it kind of just built from then on and then on and then on. And I think that the fans here are deserving, you know, of such such a team like this. They've been waiting for a long time just to have something to be excited about, something to rep. You know, it's funny. I went on Jeff Teague's podcast earlier this summer, and you know, his homeboy said the same thing. He was pulling for us the entire time, and everybody was doubting him. And you know, he's from Indy, so it gave him something like something to be proud of. You know, come from Indy and whatnot. So I want to continue to have that sentiment with our team, and definitely is motivated to get back here and just you know, play here in the playoffs.
Turner, the franchise leader in block shots, averaged 17.1 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 1.9 blocks per game last season.
iPacers.com. This is the theme song for iPacers.com. iPacers.com. This is the theme song for iPacers.com. iPacers.com. This is the theme song for iPacers.com.